I am so excited to share with you our headboard. It's finally done. Can you believe it? And how I did it. One of the things that I did was paint the back wall. Just to share, I used the Repose Gray color from Sherwin Williams. Bought the paint at Home Depot in the satin finish. The other wall, you'll know about this more here in a minute, but is the Mindful Gray. The other thing I did was picked up a new duvet cover. This is from Bedscape. I'll leave a coupon code. I'll talk about it more at the end of the video, but it is so soft and it's so beautiful, and I feel like it was the perfect touch on making our room amazing. I bought the wooden panels from Home Depot, and here it is.
Guys, it seems so silly that I'm going to be painting this blue wall that I really did love, but it has to go. So I am going to be painting it gray.
Okay, here's my confession. Bought the wrong color paint. I meant to buy the same color that I already had. However, I was in a major rush when I left, and I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to buy the paint. I wanted to paint the room tonight because I actually am home alone tonight. So I figured it'd be the perfect time to paint the room. So I grabbed the paint sample off of where I'd stuck it downstairs, seeing if I liked the paint color downstairs. Grabbed it, ran to Home Depot, figured if there wasn't a line, I would buy it, and then I would have this to do tonight. It was a mad dash. Bought the paint, got it home, put the first strip on. I'm like, definitely picked the wrong color. It is a shade lighter. Granted, this is wet, so it looks a little lighter than it actually is going to end up being, but it's definitely lighter.
All right, so I have been in here trying to figure out what pattern I want to choose, and this is not easy. Like, you know, do I want it to be steppy? Do I want it to be like even? Do I want to make the cuts easier on myself or harder? What do I want to do? I think that this is what I like.
Okay, so boards are cut. Da, 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 roughly. I'm going to go down, because they're all, I can do this. I'm gonna go this way. That's really hard to do, try it. Because they're all like naturally weathered or whatever, they are all kind of a little different, and each of the edges isn't quite exactly right, or each of the, you know, they're not all exactly 3.875 inches. They're all just a little different. So what I did is I quit like measuring perfect, because no matter what I did, it was just gonna be a little funky. So I'm going to find a way to seal these though, so we don't get like splinters in the middle of the night.
I was originally going to have it be like to the wall, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build it in the garage and then carry it upstairs, just because between the ceiling and I want the edges perfectly straight. You can really tell, like I was like, well, down here I ended up switching boards, but down here I was like really meticulous. You can see it here because these three here stayed the same. I was super meticulous, and then by the time I would like get to the other end and be like, this board's shorter than the last board, and it was making me crazy. So I stopped carrying toward the top.
Took a piece of the wood into the Home Depot and asked for some help, and this is what they suggested for sealing the wood. So I applied roughly 10 coats of this stuff.
So I measured it all out. I want it to be 2 feet at the bottom, 3 feet at the top. So these are going to be kind of the stakes. Originally I was going to nail it to the wall, but now I kind of want it to be like, if we want to take it with us, if we ever move or we want to rearrange our room or anything like that, I want it to be movable. So I also went ahead and I trimmed the sides. They're not perfect, but I almost don't want them to be perfect because one, I'm just not that good with a saw, and two, it kind of goes with the look. So anyhow, and it's my way of just saying I don't want to have to try to figure out any other way. So yeah, this is the front of it, so I'm going to flip them all over. Now this looks crazy, and yes, there's probably a better way to do it, but I don't know what it is, and I'm totally winging it and doing this entirely just on my own. So I flipped all the pieces of wood over, and so you can see like these are the backs. There's some pieces I really don't like, and I found this piece of lumber here from Home Depot, and it was like a scrap piece. It was pretty long, actually. 70% off. I think I paid 82 cents for it because it was like a bad piece, but I thought it was thin, it's light, and it'd be perfect to like put pieces of wood together. So like I've got my two main support pieces that's going to basically hold the majority of it together, but there's a few seams that needed something. So I am going to put a nail through it once it dries, but in the meantime, I found this stuff called liquid nails. There seriously might be an easier way to do this. But I found liquid nails, and oh, I forgot a seam right there. and I just put some on either side of it. Here, I'll show you. But I just put like a dollop on each side, and then just put it down on top of it. And I did blow all of this off with my leaf blower, so there's no sawdust on it. And then I just put that down, and then this one here had a little bit of a bigger gap in their dark pieces, so I used a scrap piece of wood for that. So I'm gonna push all those down again, and we should be good, at least for overnight. And then tomorrow I'll put some nails through all of them.
All right, a week later, I think I'm done. And this is, I haven't showered yet. It looks like a complete hack job, and kind of is. But every piece of wood that I'm about to show you actually serves a purpose. And I think that it's pretty like sound as far as the the construction goes, as in it's not gonna like fall apart, or a piece of wood's not gonna fall and hit us in the head. It's not pretty from behind, but it works. Here it is.
See how hideous this is from behind. Thank goodness I had extra wood. It did need more support. The Behr board, which is this like the cheap 80-cent piece I got, worked great for holding just the seams together, but it wasn't enough. So I had some remaining 1x4 from our batting cage project that I was able to cut down and use just to kind of hold it together a little extra. It probably would have been fine without it. I just wanted it to be very, very sturdy so that we can move it and I can place it and then we can replace it and just whatever we may want to do. So yeah, that's what that looks like. And what's really cool about this is I didn't actually end up having to hammer anything from the front. Oh, something I forgot to mention too, that Hard as Nails is still wet and I put it on 24 hours ago. I think it's just because it's, I don't know, 20 degrees in my garage right now, so it's freezing. Hopefully it dries in time and it just makes it that much stronger. But in the meantime, I've got a great, really the sideways piece was not, that one, it wouldn't look so bad if it wasn't for the diagonal piece in the middle. But yeah, I ended up screwing, I tried nailing and the nails just weren't enough. So I ended up screwing with 1 1/4 inch screws that I happen to have. I ended up screwing these pieces down and that really was what it needed. So yeah, it was a learning process, you guys. I learned a ton from this, like more than I could have ever imagined, and I did it entirely on my own. So it was a hands-on educational sort of a adventure. So I'm gonna go put it in my room now because it's done. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna screw these here. They actually are built to rest on the ground, but I'm gonna screw those into the wall. So you won't see any screws. This is all gonna go away in just a minute.
So here it is, all said and done. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with how it turned out. Like I said, I picked up most everything from Home Depot with the exception of the duvet cover. I did get that from Bedscape. It's 100% cotton. It's so comfortable. I'm so incredibly happy with it. I'll leave a coupon down below for 30% off, and I believe it's free shipping as well. The coupon code's YouTube30. Oh, also my favorite thing about it are these ties on the inside. They're easy, they're long enough, they slide through the duvet perfectly so it's not slipping all over the place. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, not a professional, so I'm sure there's a billion things I could have done better or I could have done differently, but I did my best and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If anything inspires you, I will talk to you soon. Bye.